Thank you, everybody, for joining me. This is wonderful. I'm so excited to be doing this. And thank you, Tara, and all the whole team at Spirit Essence for putting this together. It's a wonderful summit. And thank you guys for coming out and enjoying this. Oh, some more coming in here. Okay. All right. So, welcome. My name is Jennifer Quick. And tonight's talk is called No More Judgment. And it's 5 minutes to a compassionate life. What I want to talk about is where we are right now in our evolution. So right now, when we look out in the world, we're seeing all this chaos that's going on. And I want to tell you that this is actually a really good thing that we're going through. This is the chaos of a soul evolution. We are evolving as a species. We are opening up our consciousness to a higher realm. We talk a lot about moving into the fifth dimension. And what that is that we have access to a higher level of thinking than we have had in previous history. And what that does for us right now, so right now when we're changing our frequency, we move from a lower frequency to a higher frequency. In between that structural change in any kind of science, there is a chaos that happens as the old structures break down and they get reshuffled into a new structure. That is what is going on right now. And that's why it's looking so chaotic. There is a lot of emotions going through the world right now. And a lot of us are wondering, like, what are we supposed to be doing about this? And what I'm here to tell you is that all we are supposed to be doing is to feel it, observe it, let it go, and not attach to it. So that is actually what I'm going to teach you a little later on. I'm going to talk a little bit here, and then I'm going to lead you through a meditation. And I'm going to teach you how to put yourself into a place where you can feel the energies that are going on. You can see the chaos and observe it, but you're not going to attach to it and have it pull you down into the drama. Because we want to rise above the drama. So what I'm talking about with the drama is caused by our judgment. And judgment comes from a very third dimensional aspect of us. At third dimensional level, like our 3D physical world that we've been in, is a duality world. Everything is either this or that. And we look at the world from that perspective of a this or a that. But as our consciousness opens, we start to get grayer in our spectrum, right? Not everything falls into a this or that. And that is why we've been going through, there's so many labels for things, and we're just expanding more labels, more labels, more labels. It's because we're breaking down that duality. We're moving out of it. And we're actually capable of understanding so much more. It is our judgment of whether something is good or bad that pulls us into the drama. And the drama is what perpetuates a misalignment in our energy fields. So as we open up our consciousness, we are actually able to access more of our soul energy and our soul gifts and who we really are. In history, we've never been at a point where we've really had a lot of choices. It's pretty much as you, whatever family you were born into, pretty much determined how your life was going to be. We didn't have a lot of life choices we were capable of making, right? And it's only in the last 100 years that there's been this huge, huge shift where now we have all these choices that we are able to make, which means we can make choices that are in alignment to how our soul is meant to function. And when we can align our physical actions, our mental and our emotions, with how our soul is designed, we open ourselves up to having more energy to come through and are able to create more. That's how this is all kind of coming together and working. That is the evolution that we are on a path with of all of humanity. So majority of humanity is actually opening up this consciousness. There's a very small fraction that is not. And they are not able to, they're not transitioning into this fifth dimensional aspect. Hopefully they will come along with us as people like yourself that are interested in the spiritual movement. You are the leaders that are pulling the rest of humanity and showing the way. We're showing the way into a new world. This new soul evolution, I can tell you without a doubt, is a world of compassion. And the reason why I say I can tell that to you without a doubt is because science and quantum physics is actually measuring what is going on. And the frequency of the earth, the frequency of the human consciousness that we give out is all rising. And it is a fact in science that when frequency rises, it becomes a more complex pattern, which is actually in alignment with caring and compassion with love. And that is actually what is happening to the earth itself as the entity of the earth is rising into that conscious field, as well as the humans that inhabit the earth. We are all evolving into that higher frequency. All right, is everybody following with me? Have I moved a little too fast at all? Are we good? All right. I will allow for questions a little later on, okay? So we are on this evolution. So what do we do right now? Because we're in this chaos and we feel the fear. We don't want to live in the fear. We want to rise above the fear. We want to look at this perspective that we are growing into a more compassionate world. These shadows of humanity, all the problems that we have, all the systems that are broken, everything that is wrong is coming up to the surface right now. That's why it's so chaotic, is because it's being revealed. You can't heal something until it's revealed, right? That is also why for quite a while, like in the last 2 decades, there has been this massive, massive spike in anxiety and depression and stress. Well, anxiety is fear of the future. It's the unknowing of the future. Well, our future is really unpredictable. It leaves us in a space where we're just like, yeah, there's a lot of anxiety. And especially right now, we don't even know what next month is going to, we don't know what next week. Next week, the schools are opening up again here in BC. We don't even know what that's going to look like, let alone as we open up other businesses and stuff. Like our whole world is completely unknown, even to 2 days ahead. That is a very high pressure of anxiety because we worry about the future. So we don't want to live in the future. We want to live now. Depression is a pull to our past. Depression is telling us to heal our past, heal the old wounds. So I've been working in the Akashic Records since the first decade of the 2000s here. I started working in the Akashic Records and doing soul realignment work, which is where you go in and you remove the negative influences that have been accumulated through the soul's journey through the earth experiment, all right? And we realign the energies of the body of like our physical world with our soul. So our soul goes back to its original design of how it was meant to be in flow with universal energy. And as I was doing that work, that is what past life regression work is all about. So when I first started doing all that work, that's what I was doing. I was going into past life stuff and we were clearing out old stuff. And as the years went by, I noticed we were going back further and further, and the clients that were coming to me back were going back further and further and further. And I've had clients, and in my own healing, I've gone right back into Lemuria. Lemuria was the first society that as souls came in and had a society at a very high conscious level, right? And then we broke into technology, and that went into the chaos, and then we emerged into this other journey that we've been on, which has been a very dual system. So they've been called to heal all that. And I noticed at about 5 years ago, that started shifting again and I found my clients less and less coming to me and needing this past life. And actually what they needed was help figuring out how to live in this third dimensional world while expressing their soul energy. We have this deep calling to go back to our soul and how we are really designed, right? Who we really truly are. That is the calling that's going on right now. And we don't have as much of a need to go back. Did you have a question, Monique? Hold on here. Let me just, yes?
I'm sorry, honey, but do you notice that Tracy wants to be let in? there's a message on chat, and she's asking, and I've been waiting to try not to interrupt you, but she apparently Tracy wants in. So I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
Thank you so much for Monique for telling me that. I did not see that. Thank you. Well, like this next time.
I didn't want to interrupt, but
No, I really appreciate that. Thank you very much. And sorry it took me so long to let you guys back, let you in there. I'm just sort of rolling with this, and I was saying to others that this is being recorded, and I'm going to put it up on my YouTube channel so we can do a catch up to it. Okay, you can rewatch it there. I've also, if you want, I can allow you to record as well. All right, but I will be making that available for everybody.
Thank you. Thank you.
Okay. Do you want me to release it so that you can record this on your own computers? Does anybody want me to do that? No? Okay. All right, I'm going to go back into muting then. Flag me if anybody wants me, because I'll just keep talking. And I want to get quite a bit of information across, and I want you to have the experience within the hour, and then I am happy to stay here and answer questions after that. Okay, so I've got no hurry to move on, but I want to make sure you get the information within the hour that I said I would do this. So where was I? So the shift in the work. Okay, so my work has really shifted, and what people were needing is to figure out how to live in this physical world, yet be in living their soul, their truth, their who they really are, and they needed to discover who they really are. And so the work went away and wasn't as much anymore about past life as it became about this life and the actions now. And through the readings, there's what's called an energy matrix. So there's an energy matrix as to how we are actually uniquely designed to express in this world, right? So it's, all those gifts and talents and how you are meant to process universal energy into this world. And that's what I started working a lot more with, is helping people figure out what physical things they were doing, what mental and emotional things were going on that wasn't aligned to how they're designed. There is no right and wrong. We have to move past that concept into everything is perfect in how it is. It's just the way it is, right? Everything is perfect. An experience is what it is, an experience. We all know as souls, our souls don't end. We just have this experience and then we'll move on to a different experience, right? But while we're here, we have this amazing opportunity at this time to align our actions in this third dimensional. So our manifesting, every time we do anything physically, or even when we don't do, we are creating. We are divine creators. It is impossible for us not to create. It's a matter of how much responsibility do you want to take for that creation. And when we step into alignment with our soul, that responsibility becomes a playground. And we begin to create however we want to create. It becomes in flow, and we become enlightened within ourselves. Our soul energy, what actually happens when the alignment happens in our actions, literally our energy fields open up and allow more life force energy, more of that divine creation energy to flow into us. All right? So that is what it's all about. So that is what I ended up starting to do, is moving into more of this energy reading and helping people and align their actions, which is why I went into life coaching, and I did my training in life coaching because I wanted to move away from the past life. I wanted a framework to understand how to help people do this, and I combined it with the work in the Akashic Records, and that's how this is all pulled together. But you can do this yourself. You are internally guided to do this when we get in touch with our inner self. You don't need to go to somebody else. The information is all inside of you, waiting for you to tune in and connect with it. It's in how our bodies feel. When we pay attention to the language of our body, which is feel, it will always tell us what is right and what is wrong for us. So it's not a matter of something being good or bad or a judgment on it. It's a matter of, is it the path that opens up our energy field, or is it restricting our energy field? Does that make sense to everybody? Okay, we're following along. So again, I went and carried on. This was my work for quite some time. And then about a year ago, so I went through challenges in my personal life with some of my loved ones. And I was faced with a lot of things that I was struggling and dealing with. And I discovered in that process the HeartMath Institute down in California. And I fell in love with what they were teaching. And I have them on my website. I encourage people to go do their program. There's not a commission or anything on that. That's just, I encourage it. It's so powerful. And I did some training with them. And I pull a lot of scientific study because I fell in love with the science. And I started looking into the science behind the quantum physics that it was explaining. Science right now with quantum physics is actually merging with spirituality. They are proving each other. And so when I started going into that, one of the things that I came across, and there's numerous teachers that talk about this, is the power of the human body and the human mind, and that we have this incredible potential within us. So all those stories that we've heard, mystical stories about monks that live like over 200 years or, well past 100, some of them even past 200. They can self-regulate their bodies. They have super learning abilities, that instant memory. They can levitate. They can do all sorts of those mystical things that we've heard about in legend, right? Those are actually human potentials that we all have in our bodies. They're buried into our DNA, and science is actually discovering this. What science is also discovering is that the path to it is through the language of the heart. And the language of the heart is the emotions, which emotion stands for energy and motion. That's what it's about. So when we touch into our emotions, we are actually communicating with that energetic flow, the actual energy itself. So when we use our minds and we go into spirit and we go into like guided meditations and we go up into the ethers and we have all those guided visuals and we get all those downloadings of information that come to us, that is going to the divine source of intelligence. It's a portion of the source, but it's not the entire picture of source. It's one part of it. The other part of it is feeling the flow of the energy, and that communication happens through our heart. It's when we go in and we feel from our heart center, we start to get the information that is being processed through our chakra system, through our 5 senses, and it's what's guiding us. Science has actually discovered that the information traveling, we used to think that the information that communicated throughout our body came from our mind, but it's actually turned out to be only part of the story. The true story is that the heart is sending more than twice the amount of information from the heart to the brain than goes from the brain to the heart. The heart is actually processing most of the information. So it goes from the heart, it goes up through the vagus nerve in the back, into the pituitary, travels to the pineal, activates all these different chemical reactions in the mind, and sends them out to the rest of the body. It starts from the heart. And what has also been shown is that the emotions that we hold will actually will shift our mind. So the emotions, when we have negative emotions, what we're actually doing is pushing our minds into the fight or flight. And when our minds go into fight or flight, they go into a very pointed focus of survival, not into a bigger thinking picture. It narrows. The blood vessels and everything, that all contracts, and it narrows in its thinking. But when we move into the higher vibrations of the emotions that are love, caring, gratitude, appreciation, all the big buzzwords that we talk about in spirituality, when we move into those, the brain actually lights up in all areas of the mind. The chemicals to move us out of the stress, fight or flight mode calm down, and all systems start regenerating, and our systems start to activate, and it starts to grow and blossom. And it's all controlled from what we're actually feeling in the heart. So I mentioned the Heart Math Institute earlier. One of the things that they are really specializing is working with PTSD, post-traumatic stress disorder. And this is how they're doing it. They're teaching people to go into their heart and feel. Okay? What the science is showing, that 5 minutes of being in heart connection, so this is when you go into and you feel in the heart, the mind will synchronize with the heart in frequency, and 5 minutes of being is actually 3 minutes of actually being in coherence. I say 5 minutes because I have yet to get into that space in under 2 minutes, which is why I say it takes 5 minutes. But it's technically actually 3 minutes of being in alignment, mind and heart, that there are over 1,400 biochemical reactions, all positive, that flood through the system. And the effects last up to 6 hours. So under normal life conditions, it will last 6 hours. Our minds become clearer and we feel. So when I started actually practicing this and I started bringing this into my life, it was the magical twist that went to everything, that now I moved from always having tools and always going into really thinking and analyzing and falling into the anxiety of the future and having to pull myself back to present moment, because it's only in present moment that we need to be. And then I also didn't feel the pull from depression, which is that pull to the history. I moved out of those spaces and I became in present moment. I also, after practicing this for a while, I went through an experience where I felt that my soul dropped into my body and it felt like a thud. It was a very strange experience. And what it actually was is I talked earlier about the energy design of who I am. And this is very common for people who are interested in spirituality. They are often very much in the higher energy fields and disconnected from the physical body. We often have a lot of health problems because we are so disconnected. We find it very difficult to be here in the heavier energies of our earth. So we tend to be more fun up here. It's more fun playing in spirituality with guided meditations and other people that understand our strange language, right? It's a lot more fun. But when I moved into that heart and I activated my emotional connection, my soul actually dropped in, and that was the moment when I realized why I had always heard that this was the most exciting time to be a soul incarnating in all of human history. I started watching what was unfolding, going, I get it. I get why souls want to incarnate and why human life is so precious. It becomes this amazing, amazing experience when you get in touch with that heart connection. So now I've got 20 minutes left. I want to take about 15 minutes here, and I want to take you guys through the experience. I want to do it for 15 minutes because it's through practicing that we actually get centered and we fall into it. And I want you to really feel it. So 5 minutes a day will last that 6 hours. If you can do, you can do 5 minutes 3 times a day, you're like, whoo, you're singing, right? It's fantastic. But if you can find the time in your life every, once a week or something like that to go longer, it just keeps building and becoming so much more empowering, because it is a key to opening up and allowing your soul energy to come in. All right. So we're going to do 15 minutes because I really want you to feel this. All right. Is everybody ready and good to go? Okay. All right. I do have some heart music on in the background. This is just actually, I Googled it off of YouTube. Can you hear it? Can anybody hear it? I'm going to unmute everybody for a minute.
Nope.
No? Okay.
Hear what?
Music.
Oh.
Hold on one second. Let me grab my speaker. You hear it?
Nope.
Humming?
No music.
It's like a hum.
Yeah, I hear it.
Yeah. Okay, that's a frequency. So that's just off of YouTube, and you just Google heart frequency, right? So the tones in it are specifically designed for opening up the heart. I'm going to tell you one final thing, actually, that I want to share with you. I kind of forgot about it. So I want to share this one last thing that ended up happening to me. So,
Prep your volume.
Pardon? Oh, okay. So I'm going to go mute everybody again. Let me know if you guys want to talk. Okay, so what I discovered as I got into this, I had a very strange experience, and I never realized before. I wasn't inside my body. I was actually out in front of my body. So one of the keys to this is bringing in the feeling of either love, caring, love, pure love, not any romantic weird things that we connotate with love a lot, but actual just pure caring, that kind of love. So love, gratitude, appreciation, and love, gratitude, and appreciation. And I'm blanking on the fourth at the moment. Oh well. But you get whatever, those positive emotions. I had always thought that I was feeling them. And when I started doing this practice, I had this when I felt that soul energy open up and I dropped into my body, I all of a sudden, that feeling, I became aware that I had been feeling it outside of myself, and it moved into my heart. And it was it was something I never realized, that I was loving outside of me. And then I started loving with all of me from the inside. So that's just had to share that part of this journey with you. All right, so get comfortable wherever you are and just relax. I want you to take some big, deep breaths. When you breathe in, I want you to take a deep breath, slow, and all the way down into your lower abdomen as best that you can. So breathe as big, slow, and deeply as you can. Usually we want to take 3 big breaths and kind of force them, really. They're the ones that kind of bust us out of our containment. So we want to push ourselves on them. And once after that, after the 3 that you really pushed yourselves to open your lungs, then find your rhythm of slow and deep breathing and find your own natural rhythm. Okay? I want you to be in a calm space. All right. So comfortable where you are. Taking some big, deep breaths. I recommend that you close your eyes. Closing our eyes helps us move into the body and let go of what's around us. So we're going to focus into our body, breathing deep, low into our abdomen. We're going to do at least 3 big ones that we're going to force. Pause in the inhale, pause before you exhale as well. So now you've done the big 3 breaths that have opened up your lungs. Now continue a deep and even pattern. Make sure your breath is slow and deep. Give a pause at the exhale. Give a pause before you inhale. And just find your natural rhythm. As you do this, you're going to notice that thoughts are drifting in and out. Your mind is wandering. Your day is going in front of you. Your next event is going in front of you. Whatever is exciting you is going through your mind. I want you to practice detaching yourself from it and move into a space of just observing it. Don't buy into thinking about it. Don't start processing anything with, just see it coming into your mind's eye, sense it coming into your mind and out of your mind. Just let it drift. Detach from it. As you breathe, keep breathing. Let your shoulders drop. Let your body soften. Let your spine soften. Let your hips settle in to wherever you're sitting. Feel your feet on the ground, preferably flat on the ground. It's always best. Just feel your whole body kind of settle in and relax. Keep that breathing. You can tense up some muscles in your body and then release them. If there's any tension points in your body, tighten them and then release them. Keep that deep breath going. Feel your jaw soften. Feel your neck muscles soften. Your face relaxes. Now focus on your breath coming into your lungs. Feel it. Feel the coolness of it as it fills up your lungs. Notice the expansion that your chest does as you inhale. Notice it collapse as you exhale. Focus on that breath coming in and out of your lungs. If your mind wanders, just bring it back to your breath and how it feels. Now I really want you to let go of the thought and actually move into the sensing, the feel. We're going to focus on how the body feels. Any thoughts that come into your mind, you're just not going to attach. You're going to stay detached from them. They come in, they go out. We let them go. We go back to the feel. Feel the coolness of the breath. Feel the heartbeat of your body. Feel the energy that is moving through your body. Feel that breath coming in and going out. Feel the energy. Feel the blood that's running through all your veins, down through your legs, up through your torso, up through your spine, into your mind, back down to your heart. Blood is running through your body, all powered by your beautiful heart and that heartbeat. Feel the sensations. Notice where your body is tight. Notice the tension in your stomach. Maybe relax it. Let your stomach swell with the breath. Feel how your body changes as the breath comes in. Try and feel your skin. Can you feel your clothes on your skin? Feel your knees, feel your feet, feel your body. Now feel that breath coming into your lungs. Feel how cool it is. Feel that heart beating. Keep your breath going big and deep and controlled in a slow rhythm. Relax, go deeper into the body and how it feels. Feel your body. Feel your breath. Feel your heart. Feel the beating of your heart. Take your hand and either place it palm down over your heart or take your fingertips and just touch them to your heart. And feel where your fingertips or your palm is touching your heart, touching your skin. Bring your focus into that feel. With each breath, you go deeper into the feel. Feel those fingertips. Feel that palm, that skin-to-skin contact. Feel the heat within the hand, within the heart. Notice the heartbeat under your fingertips. Notice how your lungs expand and collapse with each breath. Go deeper into the feel. There is nothing but this moment. In this moment you are safe. In this moment you are free. Be in this moment. In this moment you feel. Deep breath, feel. You're safe in this moment. Feel your fingertips. Now, very briefly, I want you to think about someone you love. It can be a family member, a friend, a lover, a pet. Just think of somebody you love and feel your love for that person or animal. Feel the love. You think of that person or animal and how you love them and the feeling of being in love. Focus on the feeling of the love and it rises. Notice how it lifts you up. It makes you feel lighter. Feel it in your heart. Feel that love in your heart. Feel it under those fingertips. Be so thankful for your life. Be in gratitude to all the blessings that you have. Feel the gratitude. Feel the love. No thoughts, just feel. Thankful for your soul, for the divine creator that lights you up. Take a big deep breath. Feel your body. Feel the love. Feel the gratitude. Feel the appreciation. Take a few moments and just stay in that feeling. Connect with it. You are it. You are love. You are gratitude. You are appreciation. Feel. Now bring your awareness back to your breath, back to the room that you're in. Feel your body, maybe move your toes, put your hand down, and start to bring your awareness back to the room that you're in. And when you're ready, open up your eyes. Come back to the room. You can stay in that calm and peaceful feeling, but bring your awareness back and open your eyes. Take a big deep breath. Notice your surroundings. Feel the peace. Notice how relaxed you are, how calm you are. The yawns are coming, some of us. It's a very calm space. And yet, can you feel your awareness? You're very aware of your environment. You're very clear in your thinking. All right, is everybody back? Susan, are you back? Pam, are you back? Are you with us? Tracy, I can't see you. Are you back with us? Shalana? Mo, Wendy, are you with me? Mel, yeah.
Yes, we're here.
We're all back. Very nice. I hope you really enjoyed that. That was a longer one, but I hope you really got the sensation of what it is to go deep into it. The more you practice, the faster you can get there. And it's kind of one of those things that you'll be going along and it'll be working really well, and you'll go into it faster, and then there'll be days where you can't even remotely get there. And that's just the way it is, right? Often movement or something like that. If we move our bodies, we can often release a lot of what is holding us back from settling into it. So if you do have trouble moving into it, do some stretching, do some moving, go for a walk, something like that, and then come back and try it again. All right. So I hope you enjoyed that. There is so much more to go from that space. I highly recommend that you go into that moment before you go off on any guided meditations, or you go off to do any soul work, or, before you go and have any meaningful conversation with somebody. It's great to get in this space, because you'll find that you will speak from the heart, right? From a clear perspective. And not only that, you'll notice, at least this is a huge thing that I noticed, is that I actually heard more clearly. So I noticed that as particularly my husband or my children or families, that we all struggle with in our relationships that we love to struggle with, right? We love them and we struggle. Those relationships, I began to see the other side more. I understood more of what was being said, and I saw it from such a more clearer perspective, and I was able to process it and respond far more appropriately by being in this space. So that's something to keep in mind going back to it whenever you can. You'll also be more productive at work when you're working. So relationships improve, work will improve, things like that. So my hour is up. I know we had a late start. I am not going anywhere, so if anybody has questions, I'm happy to do that. I am offering an energy matrix reading. It's just a 30-minute reading where I'm going to go in and I'll find out kind of what your highlights of your matrix are, and I'll look at what is going on in your life. So anyhow, I'm offering energy matrix readings. I'm just the 30-minute reading is going to show you the highlight of what's in your matrix, and it'll also we'll take a look at where you're showing up emotionally, mentally, and physically, and where you need to shift your attention in order to free up your energy so that you feel more empowered and more in flow with universal life. So that's what I'm offering as special. There's a whole lot of more services that I do going far deeper into the soul design through the Akashic Records, as well as with Reiki. I'm also, tomorrow afternoon, I'm talking again. I'm doing another workshop, and this is on a new program I'm actually offering later in June called Akashic Reiki. And I'm combining full Usui level 1 Reiki with learning how to heal in the Akashic Records. So I've actually merged them. So I'm going to talk about those tomorrow. I hope you can join me. I believe it's at 2 o'clock. So there, that is my spiel for the night. Does anybody have any questions? I'm just going to unmute all. There we go. How you doing? Anybody got a question?
I'm too relaxed.
You'll sleep really, really well tonight. If you guys, if you want, you can always send me a message as well, right, at my email. I'm not sure where the information is through the Spirit Essence marketing stuff or anything. If you have any trouble with figuring that out, you're welcome to contact me directly. My website is jenniferquick.com. I just ask that if you are here and you contact me, let me know that you're from the Spirit Essence, because I want to make sure that I'm giving back to them because they're giving us so much, right? So just make sure you let me know. It's not, I don't want to bypass them in any way. But you can directly contact me through jenniferquick.com. And on that website as well, there's a link to my YouTube channel, which I'll put this up on. I'll also be letting Tara know about it and things like that. So, yeah, there we go.
Good. Well, thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
You're welcome. I'm so glad you joined me. So,
Thank you.
all right. Thank you. Thank you, everybody. All right, I'm going to end it. Tracy wants to say something here. There we go.
No, just wanted to say thank you. It's actually Maria. Tracy is driving. Hi! And we've been listening the whole time. We just want to say thank you, and we do want to help us to a different workshop as well. So thank you for your time. It was awesome.
Well, thank you for hosting this. This has been wonderful. Wonderful. All right. Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.